Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain.
Good morning, everyone, or almost
Hello.
noon if you're on the East Coast like me, because we're lazy and we get around to things later, or some. I don't. I hope you're all doing well. Today we're gonna find out if we should become Christians again. For some of us,
No.
so
No.
my goodness. I often say that once you get clear of the religion, once you see behind the curtain and you see it's just some old little salesman from Kansas pulling all the levers and shit, you can't unsee it. You know the wizard is a technological trick. So you can't go back to just believing. And yet, there are people who claim to have been able to do just that. I don't know for sure that today's person is one such. She's formerly a person who ran a books channel. Check out this book, look at all the literary devices and the plot and the cool story and so forth. But then one day she picked up the Bible and apparently she decided all other books should be burned, or it's probably not that extreme, but we'll find out. Holy crow. But first, as always, some random announcements as people wander in. First thing is I really want to say tonight I'm having an actual scheduled later stream. Mama Mephistopheles, I said it that time, is coming over for an interview. I saw her on Takis on the line the couple of weeks ago, and I just, as you know me, I'm always huge about bringing awareness to cool people in the community.
Yeah. I don't know who this person
I want to
is. I
get
need
to know her
to.
too. Yeah.
I need to look this person up and watch your stream because I don't. This is unfamiliar.
Yeah, it should be very interesting because I'm going to learn a lot too. Normally when I interview someone, I deep dive into their background so I can ask informed questions. But in this case, since she is a TikTok creator, I think primarily, I want to hear from her what she's all about and then formulate my follow-up questions based on that. So it'll be a little bit different of an interview for me. And I hope
Yeah.
you'll all join for that.
I will
Also,
watch from work.
also this weekend, Dr. Ben has informed me that the Holy Spirits that I recorded will be manifesting on Saturday.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
What time?
Yeah. I don't know what time. I reposted his post on the community page.
Okay.
How should I know what time? Oh, let's see. Okay, I'm switching over to the thing. 5 p.m., I guess.
Okay, good. Okay. I want to make sure it wasn't trying to interfere with the mine. I didn't want to clash.
I mean, it's a premiere. If you don't catch it live, it'll work. It'll play exactly the same later. You know.
I know.
Yeah, I
but
know.
That's like
No,
the
no, I'm
best
having a
feeling.
live stream at 1 o'clock Eastern. That's why I didn't want it to be like, dang.
Yeah, but
It's
honestly,
unusual.
like even for premieres, I love the chat. So
Yeah.
It's fun
the
to
chat's
play
the best
in,
part
but
of it.
I mean, to me, one of the coolest things about a live stream is that you can interact not only with the other people watching in real time as stuff happens, but sometimes with the people who are on the screen and change the course of the show. For example, Ryan recently commented, "Have you hit the like yet?" Which, you know, it's a good suggestion for everybody. It's something we all have to ask ourselves deep in our hearts. Have I hit the like button yet? You know. All right. Also, some follow-up. Those of you who've been watching my random evening lives may be aware. There's a group of doctors in Michigan. Okay, there's a lot of backstory. I'm skipping most of it. There's a group of doctors in Michigan. Go watch the other video. It's really, really important, but I'm skipping most of it. There's a group of doctors in Michigan who have accredited as a continuing medical education course anti-trans propaganda. No medical value, not even a point about medicine. It's just hate of trans people as continuing education for physicians. Amazing.
That don't look good being from Michigan, man.
No, it's the Michigan Society for Medical shit. Michigan State Medical Society. I was close.
Oh, yes, I went to U of M. See, okay, I feel better now.
Yeah. In any case, their courses are from a SPLC designated hate group called GenSpec. The courses in question are literally just pure propaganda. It's just YouTube videos full of hate. This has happened before. Washington State had accredited similar propaganda from a different hate group called SEGEM. And we dealt with that by writing complaint letters to the ACCME, the American Council of Continuing Medical Education. And they're the ones, or the Accreditation Council for Continuing Medical Education. Americans and their fucking acronyms. Anyway, they're the ones who give other organizations the ability to accredit stuff. So they leaned on Washington State and said, hey, you can't accredit propaganda as if it were medical training. Maybe stop that or you'll lose your ability to accredit stuff. And so they stopped that. And so we tried the same thing with the Michigan State Medical Society. And they sent me back a letter this morning. And it reads, ACCME is in receipt of your inquiry concerning an accreditation activity titled How Gender Ideology Breaks Medicine, Science, and Society, in parenthetical inserted by me, in which famous non-scientist Helen Joyce talks about how trans people make ugly art. That's her entire point. So yeah, gender ideology breaks medicine. Also, gender ideology is a designated Christian myth. It's a whole thing. Again, watch the other video. So in receipt of your inquiry, which appears to have been offered by MNI Great Lakes Echo in joint providership with GenSpect, please note that because MNI Great Lakes Echo is accredited by Michigan State Medical Society, we are forwarding your inquiry to the Michigan State Medical Society. They will review your inquiry in keeping with their policies. So the people who are breaking the rule get to decide if them breaking the rule was bad. Who polices the police?
I wanna. Can I have more
Welcome to
information
the
about that so I can share it with the Michigan Atheist group?
The what now?
I gotta find information about that so I can share with the Michigan Atheist group.
Again, watch the previous video. The
Okay.
whole video is just information about this specific incident.
Okay, I'm gonna get it. Okay. Good video.
I will grab a
I can
link.
share it with them. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I can share it with them.
Here it is. Propaganda in medical education and copy, and I will put it right in the chat so that anybody who wants to can go watch that early, later, whatever. And if you do watch it, please, please, please share that video because the information in there is so fucking important. And we can't, the algorithm isn't helping. We have to spread the word. We're the only ones who will. I cannot impress this on people enough. You know, it's so fucking important. Okay, I think that might do it for notes. Well, there's more I could say, but I don't really wanna, so I'm not gonna. As Teddy Roosevelt used to say, we must be sure to save ourselves something to do for tomorrow. It's not procrastination, it's pre-planning. Oh, goodness.
Okay.
Hello, Bree.
Hello.
And hello, everybody else. I see a bunch of folks. Geosam, Sapphire Light, Spooky Bed Hair, Rainbow Ash, Ryan, of course, lurking away. Why? Because Weed Bro, Mighty Filbert, someone called Detroit Atheist Queen. I don't know who that could be.
I don't
No
either.
idea.
No idea.
And this Lil of all trades person and Secular Felix.
No, she's weird.
It's true. It's true.
She's very strange.
Bree says, "Could I blame my poor quality art on being trans then?" Okay, I'll bring up a thing. Hold on. Hold, please, while I find where I put the damn thing.
I was about to say, then what's my excuse?
Where did it fucking save? Oh, there. Jesus Christ. It's Picasso-esque now that I see it in the morning. Okay, so poor quality art. Oh my goodness. So as I have mentioned, some of my photographic art, if you will, is currently available as a calendar for next year. That's right there on the website.
Nice.
betterthanember.com store. Award-winning photography on every fucking page. That said, my photography may be good, but my art somewhat questionable.
I mean, it looks like you.
Mm-hmm.
That's way better than what I can do. It'll be a stick figure.
Let me. Oh shit! I can't. There it is. There it is. I'm trying to find all the damn files. Now, I wasn't going to talk about this because I started out like, it's one of those things that makes me really bitter, and I don't like that. I don't like to be bitter. But TLDR, this is my current, well, I have a temporary Facebook profile pic that is Miss Piggy because of the thing, but that's a whole other issue. My active profile picture is this picture from the show we did a few days ago. And
I like it.
I like it.
I rather like it too. And
You look real pretty.
so yesterday, Bree posted a few photos, some of which are now available in the Hivesci merch store as T-shirts, I believe. But Bree posted several photos that had an anime filter applied, and I was like, "Oh, that looks cool. I'll try it too." And this is what I got from my profile photo, and I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
I mean, it's not quite the same, but okay.
That looks anime-ish.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's an anime filter. That's what.
Oh,
it does.
I guess you just duh. I wouldn't even listen. Okay.
Yeah, and so I posted those, and I was like, Bree is a bad influence, you know, silly, just being silly. And this is where the thing, and this is why I was up way too late last night. I sometimes say that the way my life works seems to be different from how other people's lives work, and I don't know why, but it pisses me off sometimes. And by pisses me off, I mean makes me really sad and cry a lot, and then I pretend to be angry to hide it. So Bree and I have a lot of the same friends on Facebook. We have other people who aren't the same, that don't overlap, but whatever. Bree posted her photos, and I think they're delightful. Just to be clear, no shade on Bree or her images. But the response Bree got was universally supportive. Oh, these are cute, how adorable, these need to be on merch, etc., etc. I posted photos, images, and I got, this is AI, you're a bad person, that, you know, this sort of shit. How could you?
Are you serious?
And we have many of the same friends.
Wow.
I'm like, why are the reactions so vastly different? And to be clear, this is not the same as generative AI. There are generative elements to it, obviously, but it's not, it's based on a damn, it's not
But if
important.
you
Like I
want to
said,
have fun with
it makes me
AI,
better, it gets me worked up. And so I deleted the photos from everywhere except Threads, which is where Bree saw them, because I didn't want to make it look like I don't support Bree anymore. And then I stayed up way too late, redrawing my own by hand on my computer. And I'm like,
I can't draw at all.
I didn't actually finish it. I know the eyes are wonky. There's no eyelashes. It got to be 1:20 a.m. And I'm like, Ember, you need to be up in 6 hours. You should go the fuck to bed, bestie. So I'm like, maybe enough of that. Yeah. So yeah, I guess Helen is right. Trans art is just absolute shit. Helen's not right, to be clear. Alrighty, so this is today's person. I set these up a while in advance, so I cannot now remember the name of her channel, but it doesn't matter, because the name of her channel is no longer the name of her channel, because now it's something like I'm a Bible girl now, or something, you know? 1 second, please. I have to turn off the heater.
Nah, it's okay. I have dogs barking.
yeah, I hear you. Wonderful, the wonderful doctor.
It's getting hot in here. Okay, let me.
Oh, we're taking off our clothes in.
What now?
That's the Nelly song to take off all your clothes. I said, are we taking off our clothes in?
Well, I'm trying to not get us demonetized, but I mean, maybe it would generate. You know what? Maybe we could stand with 1 or 2 videos getting demonetized, because even though that means the algorithm won't recommend them, the algorithm doesn't recommend them anyway. And if we generate some fucking controversy, maybe it'll get some people interested in the other videos we do here.
There we go.
It's a marketing strategy. It's sort of like, so some of my evening lives have a different trailer to them. That was the trailer for my birthday show, and I really like it, so I make it a point to reuse the damn thing. But I already have set trailers for most of the other stuff I do. So for the bonus shows, I use my birthday trailer one. And I have a worker. See, the song on there, I have a license for it, but every single time I use it, YouTube pulls the video, and then I have to email YouTube and send them a copy of the license, even though it's in the video description. And then they process, and we go back and forth, and eventually they put it back up. But by the time they do, it's like 8 days old and no one will watch it. So my workaround is I have that song that pisses off YouTube in the trailer as a separate video. So its presence doesn't affect the video that it's preluding, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes workarounds are important. It's pretty neat. I mean, it's sort of a pain in the ass, but it's pretty neat. Yeah, so Rainbowish says, does using a filter count as AI garbage? No, because it's not. Okay, so there are algorithms involved in the generation of those images, but there's algorithms involved in literally everything computers do. Everything, including using this live chat. Does that make it an AI? Not the way people mean. AI in this in the context they mean is a diffusion-based generative system. It's just not the same thing. Ay. Lil, of course, has the superior solution, saying I just avoid Facebook. It's probably wise. Bum. Why? Okay, I must have missed something because people are telling. Oh, for the workaround thing. Okay. I'm like, why would people be calling me smart and ingenious and things? I'm not feeling it today. My goodness. Dudes, fam, I was so fucking upset. And people on the internet, whatever. But like, I keep my Facebook to just people I care about. Or like people that I might work with at some point, you know, like there's a few people on there I don't know personally, but reached out to me, and we have like 50 plus mutual friends, whatever. But the most hurtful comments were from my older daughter, who is an actual artist, and I don't even know how to describe my relationship to this person. My most recent ex, whom I am still close to at the level of being a best friend. And I'm like, these are two people whose opinions I very much care about, calling me an awful person. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Sadly, many times the people you love the most are the ones that hurt you the most.
Well, yeah, that's true. Because like people that I don't care about what they think. It's an oof. All right, now that I've driven away half the audience, as I do, this is what intros are for, folks, is to chase people out. Let's find out why we should be Christians.
So this is a Christian channel now, or at least a channel where I will be speaking about Christianity and Jesus and faith and the Bible.
So if you came here for books, get out.
Unfollow.
Like, what a way to open a video. Like,
wow.
I realize we built this channel of thousands upon thousands of subscribers by our mutual love of literature, books, and a secular view of the world. But this is a Christian channel now.
There is nothing wrong with continuing a book if your religion. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I have the craft half of my channel and the live, like, atheist women show side of my channel. There's not.
Yeah, I've been branching out more lately too. You might have noticed, folks, but
just a little.
To be clear, I will never stop doing secular advocacy because it's very important to me. Not just because I'm a secular person and because the rights of every minority are improved under secular societies,
Mm-hmm.
but because I care about other people too.
Yeah.
Geo Sam says this channel belongs to Jesus now. Jesus is a pirate. Jester, why is Jesus a better pirate than we are? Avast! We need to start taking some shit over.
And I'm going to be changing the name of this channel from Aaron Brought a Book to Aaron Brought a Bible because...
Fuck!
Clearly she hasn't read the damn thing.
See, that's what I mean. Like, she's not just saying, hey, I'm a Christian, this is really meaningful to me, we'll talk about it some, but also still talk about it, great books. No, it's forget all the other books.
No.
It's no longer Aaron Bought a Book, it's Aaron Bought a Bible. All the other books are gone. Forget this bookcase behind me.
Like,
fucking hell.
That's one thing that I see all the time, and you see a lot on like the debate channels and that kind of stuff, is if they were to actually sit down and read the Bible, like even literally just read it. It is so hard to hold on to a lot of the beliefs, and especially a lot of the right-wing evangelical beliefs. Like, it's so hard to, if you take the Bible literally, because you realize real quick you can't do that.
Jester says, in my defense, I'm a jester and a ninja more than I am a pirate. Okay, that's fair enough.
I'm a pirate. I graduated a pirate. Can I join the crew?
I mean, yeah, we need more sailors. We always need more sailors. Yeah, it hurts my head. The pain. But why? So as is famously known, most believers, especially people who grew up in the religion, but a lot of converts, don't actually read the damn Bible. That's why so many atheist channels make it a point to read the Bible. Like, Lawrence from the Behold Network may or may not drop by at some point during the show, but his channel has a whole section from years ago where they read the Bible, and then they read the Apocrypha. And that's where I met Lawrence. We were doing the Beholds, and it was amazing. But I digress. The point is, lots of atheist channels do it. I thought about it myself because I used to have one hell of a Bible voice, and I can't get anywhere near where I used to. But honestly, it's still kind of boss, even though it's much less than it once was. But so many people have done it. I'm just like, this would be redundant as hell. I mean, maybe I could like do a react to it though. Like rather than just read it like a news reader, right? Like insert parenthetical opinion as one goes. Perhaps. I don't know. I just work here.
Christ saved my life. He is the true living God. He's the author of all creation, who came to earth to live a perfect holy life, to die on the cross and be resurrected, to save us from sin and separation from God, and bring us back into perfect, eternal, loving relationship with the God of love. That is all the truth. I grew up hearing.
Bravo on the talking points that you have memorized.
But how do you, I mean, I'm convinced, right? Like that was super convincing. Why though? Why do you think that confessing and professing doesn't convincing? The USS Lollipop. What was it?
Well, we
they used USS. It's from the Star Trek episode when Riker was talking to a fake person. Who was like, it was a planet where they had booby traps of holograms that like gathered bits from your mind to fabricate the holograms, but didn't actually have your memories. And so Riker faked out this hologram person from his past with like, oh yeah, remember that time we served together on the USS Lollipop? It was a jolly good ship. I'm such a nerd. Jester says, I have a few ships. That would make Jester a Commodore. Or perhaps an admiral, something like that.
Yeah. Commodore usually a few. Maybe.
I mean, if it's your fleet, you can call yourself whatever the hell you want.
Mm-hmm.
It's my Shippy McShip face. Why are sailors always ship faced? Oh, that's not how you spell it. Here Sam says there's a one true God fallacy. I want to see. I want to see. Let's look it up together. It'll be fun.
Yes.
One
Is that where they just memorize talking points?
let's see. What's it say? What's it say? Okay. It's not a named logical fallacy, but it can refer to the argument from ignorance, no true Scotsman, or the fallacy of false equivalence. I don't like the AI overview. Let's see. The God fallacy. 1. A false idea that many people believe is true. Well, that's bandwagon. A false way of thinking about something. Well, yes, religion is definitely a false way of thinking about something. All right. There's more, but as y'all know, I am very prone to tangents. It's not like it's on a shirt or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Oh,
like
that?
not like I don't have one ready.
There you go.
Well, hold on. When we're small, it takes me extra buttons to make you big. That's one of the hoodies.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. I know. We should do limited edition ones with like our own personal emojis on them. Because like if we're gonna do channel emojis,
that would be nice. Yeah.
collect us all.
I wish I can find one as a crown. That would be neat.
I'll look for you.
Mine with a crown.
Let's see what I can find.
Okay. Hey, you're my girl. You be hooking me up.
That.
Well,
I
I
always
do thumbnails
knew
for
that
a
story,
living, so
but
I
do.
do thumbnails for a living.
I was like, you do. I was like, oh, what?
My
It's a
mom to me
shitty
all the
job.
time.
Somebody's got to do it.
My mom does that to me all the time, and it drives me crazy.
it was never real to me until it was. So today, I want to share my testimony. Up front, I want to say that my story will look different from yours because you're a unique creation. You're one of a kind. There's never been another person quite like you. And God made you for a purpose. He made you for a relationship. And the way that He reaches you will be unique to you, will be personal to you. But I know that the word of our...
Once again, first of all, which God? From the outside, all of these holy claims look the same to me. They're all based on ancient stories and shit, and the evidence for all of them is equally unconvincing. So whatever. But second, I have tried having a relationship with this God who wants a relationship, and he never calls, he never writes. He's just not that into me. What do you want, you know?
I mean, it's one thing, like, I was talking to my mom about this a while back, and it's like, and I said, just like you can't force yourself not to believe, I can't force myself to believe. Even if I wanted to, I cannot force myself to do that. I know what I know, and I can't force myself to just ignore that.
And the dogs have opinions.
They always have opinions.
testimony is powerful. It's important. So yeah.
Now, to be clear, this is an important point. We can be convinced of something other than what we currently believe. You have to show us the evidence, however. It's the same way anybody is convinced of anything, except apparently Christians, because when you say, well, what convinced you? You get some kind of mumbo jumbo about how, well, you know, people talk about relationship. What happened that changed your mind? Did your mind change? Like, what are we doing? I
want to start by sharing some of my story and explaining as best as I can how I went from being...
Andrew says Christians would argue that he did write to you. The Bible is his love letter to you. Holy shit. Now, on the off chance you're new here, because every video is somebody's first video. The Bible is stories of genocide and incest and rage and torment and destruction. It's got to be the worst love letter ever.
Sort of skeptical about all of this and sort of seeking truth to coming to understand that the truth is a person whose name is Jesus. That's what I'm going to be doing today. So I was raised in a Christian home, mostly. My mom has been a born-again believer.
So she's just now discovering Jesus, but she was raised in a Christian home by a born-again. Uh-huh.
I don't know how that
But
works.
it's all brand new. Yeah.
For
That
about
was
as long as I
like-
can remember. And my dad
What's that?
I was just watching Punk Apostate, and so we was watching the Kirk Cameron thing, and he was like, I used to be an atheist.
They all fucking say that.
When? Ever since you were a teenager, you was evangelical at least.
Well, I was born an atheist. Well, yeah, everyone is, Kirk. Because we don't get a God belief until other people tell us we have to, or we'll be tortured forever. What do you mean? Fucking hell. The fact that, in fact, I'm working on, I'll probably never finish because time is an issue. So I'll just tell you now, the problem of apologists, right? Like there's the problem of evil. We've all noted that the fact there even are apologists disproves everything the apologists say about their God. Because if any of it were true, he wouldn't need apologists. But then there's that whole thing about believing, right? If anything they said about that God were true, you wouldn't have to be told about God. You wouldn't have to be indoctrinated into this religion or that. You would be born knowing it, like the Bible says. And that's just not true. So, Right-Handed Sith points out the Song of Solomon, which is just soft adult content. I dare say it's not even soft. It uses a few euphemisms, but it's pretty randy. But yeah, wholesome book, right for children. But every other book that does the same thing, we have to ban immediately.
has always been a little bit more passively agnostic, I would probably say. As I went through life and as I grew up, I sort of carried both of those things in me. I saw the radical faith of my mom, and throughout my life, I've always carried this sort of trust, this childlike trust in something bigger and better than me, in something
So she wasn't just agnostic. She was default Christian. She was, I believed in the Christian shape of God. I just didn't call it Jesus,
transcendent, but I didn't personally know God for a very long time. I didn't have a personal relationship with Jesus.
Wait. I want to call attention to this hat in the corner here. Love thy enemy, right? A lot of Christians say that, but so many Christians say God is love. That's their whole thing. Jesus was an act of love and the Father's divine sacrifice and yada yada. What if we've been reading this shit wrong the whole time? They're saying God is love, and love is thy enemy. It's just a code phrase. It's just a code switch. They're saying God is your enemy, which based on the Bible seems to be true because he's intent on torturing you for all time. What a great guy. That just came to me. I hope y'all enjoy that.
Didn't even understand what people meant when they said that. And then along the way, I also had this sort of skepticism, many doubts, many questions, just seeking to know, seeking to understand the truth. I'm a person who really likes understanding things. I like having all the answers to things. That's how I was in school growing up. I loved having all the answers. I literally made a brand for myself online on TikTok as the girl whose tagline is stuff I learned in books, like Hermione Granger coded, like look at all this stuff that I know from the books that I've read. So yeah, I always liked to...
She clearly didn't much.
Well, you can have knowledge and not possess the ability to critically think. Like you can learn a bunch of facts, but you can't synthesize new information or new understanding from them. They're two completely separate skills. Deviant points out that the hat doesn't say enemy, it says libranemy. because they use the fucking fancy L. I'll make it big again so you can. I still don't know if you can see. I'll make it bigger still. There it is. It's not actually an E, it's a fancy L that looks vaguely E-like in English. Like the end of love is an E. The second E is an E. That's a fucking fancy L. Amazing.
Yeah, it looks like a fancy pound sign or something. I think it's the pound sign.
Yeah.
Like a British pound.
Yeah.
A pound sign is a different thing. It's what you youngins might call a hashtag. It's the tic-tac-toe board symbol. That's a pound sign.
Understand things deeply. And for the longest time, I felt like I'd heard the Christian story so many times, but I didn't understand it deeply. Growing up, I kind of graduated out of the faith of a child to just the culture of my faith. Like, I did go to church and youth group. I knew the scripture from Romans that if you confess with your mouth.
So I went to church and youth group and I knew all the scripture. But I'm only just now a Christian, folks.
Mouth and believe in your heart that Jesus has been raised from the dead, then you will be saved. And the confessing with your mouth part seemed easy to me. Like, I saw that all over the place. I saw all sorts of mouths
Yeah, you opened the video with that. You said things. Wonderful. Good job. Now tell us why you believe. That's the important part.
confessing the name of Jesus. But I was always curious, like, what's actually going on in those people's hearts? What does their belief feel like? Because I don't know if I personally believe it good enough, you know? I don't know if my belief is thorough enough or comprehensive enough.
So she already had belief. We're all the way up to I was actually fully Christian the whole time. I just didn't know if I was Christian enough. I didn't accept my own Christianness. So it's not that she discovered God, it's that she got over her insecurities, her imposter syndrome about being properly Christian. Fucking hell. Ma'am, if you want to be Christian, just be Christian. You can do that. It's a free country, sort of. Hopefully, we'll eventually it'll be a free country again. But detail, you are able to be a Christian freely. You can just do that. You don't have to justify it.
Because I had so many questions, so many things that I didn't understand about the worldview that I was being raised in. I don't know, they're the sort of questions that a lot of people have. I remember asking my mom one time, like, what about uncontacted tribes in the Amazon who've never heard of?
Right? But also, I want to point at the fact she just said worldview, right? So many Christians conflate the religion with a worldview. And that's not how anything works. Those aren't the same thing. You can't equivocate between terms that have different names and different definitions. Fuck. Like, that's not even wrong. It's not even up to the level of a fallacy. It's just confusing two unrelated concepts.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I don't get pissy when, especially on, like, I've said, like, when the atheist uses the term worldview, because I get what they're saying and I get that they're putting it in language that the religious person is going to understand. But yeah, I completely agree with that.
Hold on. There's another important thing to mention here. While not every atheist is fully educated on all of these things, philosophy and so forth, worldview does have a specific definition, and most people who use it assume that everyone is using the same definition, though Christians are not. Their idea of worldview is one of the apologists heard a scientist use the term once, a social scientist, possibly an anthropologist, and based on pure vibes, started using it incorrectly, and it spread to all the other apologists. Because none of them look shit up, and Christians love having novel definitions for things. Now, often they'll come up with their own novel terms, like polystrata fossils, for example, which it amuses me no end when the creationists say polystrate fossils, because it's their made-up term that geologists do not use. They made it up so that when you Google it, you don't get real geology results. They're still
Makes
mispronouncing their own made-up term. Because the ignorance just stacks. It just builds on itself.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
About Jesus. Did God just make those people to condemn them? Like, did he just make those people to get rid of them because of the circumstances of their birth? That didn't make sense to me. And I had like gay friends growing up. I couldn't understand how that could be bad. I just started to have so many moral.
Right. Why
Yeah.
would a loving God have a problem with people being how he made them? Kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Question.
understand how you can go, because what she's describing is very, very similar to the question and stuff I had, which led me directly out of it. And it also led a lot of the people that I know personally directly out of it, that they had these same questions and this same, like, doesn't quite make sense. So, like, it makes me wonder what her motivations for getting back in, to be honest. Like, what
Okay,
was the
we've
change
mentioned
there?
before, whatever Christianity used to be, today it's a scam.
Yeah.
Creationists, flat earthers, all these people, they put out these crazy ass conspiracy theories, not to try to convince people, but to snare the most gullible so they can harvest their resources. They can get them to send in money to their church and whatever. It's the same thing as the Nigerian prince emails. It's deliberately filled with typos so that the skeptical people self-select out and they're left with just the most gullible who fall for it. Progressive Christianity isn't a better Christianity. It's another filter for the people who got out of the first level of the scam, but might still be caught by another scam, another version of the scam that's less obviously false. It's still inherently self-contradictory and intended to get skeptical people to self-select out so that the people left can be taken advantage of. It's less effective because the most gullible people have already been cherry-picked. But that's what it's for. It's just another layer of the scam. In marketing, they call a sales technique a funnel. Well, the best funnels, especially of the scam variety, have a filter at the end, and it's a stacked series of filters gets you a whole lot more money and control than just one sales pitch that people either take or leave, you know? So yeah, the whole fucking thing is a scam. Some of it is less harmful, but that doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah.
And also intellectual questions, seeming contradictions between evolution and creationism and science and faith. And now I understand I set up a lot of false dichotomies, seeing these things in opposition to each other, which I no longer believe is true.
That is not how a dichotomy works, but never mind.
Yeah.
But those were stumbling blocks for me, all of these.
And I was going to say, like, if somebody is still even in, like, the progression thing, like, I do have a problem with it because it's obviously believing crap that's not true and blah, blah, blah. But if they keep it to themselves and it's not harming anybody, like, I do not have the biggest, I'm not okay with religion, but I am also not ever going to sit there and take it fully away from somebody. No, I'm not about that. I'm about everybody can believe what they want. I just think more people should look critically at it and realize, like, maybe this isn't true. And at the very least, stop forcing it on people. Like, holy crap, guys. But still, it's like even the progressive Christians can get trapped in the, well, I'm for this guy because this guy's Christian, and then he ends up doing legislation that is negatively affecting a lot of people. So it still causes harm, though.
Just the in-group, out-group dynamics, treating it as a thing where we're the real people and everyone else needs to be stomped on. I'm going to play the damn video to remind everybody and new people, I hope you really enjoy this, that all of this shit is interrelated. And this video, I originally started to put it together for some lulls about silly things theists say, but it shows how it's all a straight line. One thing leads to the next. Enjoy.
I have a problem with this stuff being normalized across the spectrum, and specifically, like, why push this on kids? Why introduce this to kids?
I am a depraved wretch. I am a great sinner. I'm a worm, completely undeserving of any love or any grace. I'm nothing. I'm nothing.
You're incapable of being a good person. You're an evil person. You're a terrible person. At the core fabric of who you are. That's why we need laws. We need laws because we're bad people. All of us are bad people.
You can't spell Pride Month without demon. PRIDEMONTH.
If we don't know who the women are, because they are just people, then we won't be able to pull the women up to equality with men.
We have to try to limit the harm. And that means reducing or keeping down the number of people who transition. And that's for two reasons. One of them is that every one of those people is a person who's been damaged. But the second one is every one of those people is basically, you know, a huge problem to a sane world.
Transgenderism must be eradicated.
The LGBT, transgender, grooming our children's minds is a national security threat. We need to hold people for treason, start having some public hearings, and start executing people.
I will use whatever gives me victory. I don't care about the truth, and I don't care about the law. I care about one thing, the control.
But then they rigged the election, and now we won, so I'm going to be your president. Then what happened is they rigged the election, and I became president, so that was a good thing.
I agreed with many, many things you said during, in fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president, but I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian.
I just want to say I feel good about the Republican Party. I feel good about where we're going as a nation. We're killing all the right people and we're cutting your taxes.
It was actually a tremendous blessing to these children for them to be killed and go to heaven and be with God.
We've been hoodwinked. We've been taken in by an ideology crafted by creeps and then pushed on children.
Stop letting people pressure you into thinking.
I want to be ignorant, honestly.
Being a Christian doesn't exclude us from experiencing spiritual dryness.
We're bad people. All of us are bad people.
And if you want to be a bad people too, do what Aaron's doing, apparently. But I'm not one of the worst bad people. That makes me a good bad people. I get fucking hell. So every time I play that, something different jumps out at me. And yes, I had to edit it all together in the first place. But like this time, the thing that caught my attention, and I wanted to put it in the chat so I didn't forget. It's how my brain works. It's weird. Don't judge me. Helen Joyce's hair is a lot longer now, right? Like that video I linked earlier from 2024, her hair's like down here. So she's been lying about this for a very long time. She's been trying to say people who have had medical care. This woman wearing glasses is accusing other people who've had medical care of being damaged and they need to be exterminated.
Wow.
But you're wearing glasses. Are you damaged, Helen? Fuck. But she's been at it so long, her hair has grown that far. Like, holy shit.
You got something to say to us, Leo?
Oh, yeah. And if you are experiencing spiritual dryness, head on over to Epic Water Filters, where you can use code EMBER15 to save 15% off your epic bottle, which comes with an epic filter. Actually, these come with two filters. This is the tap water one, but there's also a wilderness naturey one. Fits right in the bottle. Very neat, very nifty, and very good. So, yeah. That's the short version of the ad. I'm not going to play the long one because I just played a video. Well, we may get to it later, though.
Things that I didn't understand. I really wanted to understand. I wanted to know the truth. I just wanted to know what was really going on with this world, with reality.
Right. We want to know the truth, too. So please tell us what convinced you. Please.
And if I could actually put my trust in the Christian God. But again, I always did have this idea that there must be something transcendent. There must be something bigger and better.
I appreciate that she confesses to having motivated reasoning. She wanted to believe something, and she was already primed for Christianity. She just needed something to let herself buy into it.
Yeah.
But what was the thing?
Than I am. And I knew enough about Jesus to respect him deeply as a historical figure and even as a religious figure. But I didn't know if I believed.
Clearly you didn't know enough about Jesus, but whatever. Oh my goodness. Jester says, yell at me tomorrow. So everybody, remember, tomorrow we yell at Jester.
Yes.
By request.
Okay.
Really believed in my heart that he was God. Then I went to college. College was one of the hardest times of my life. I began to really grapple with the even bigger theological questions about the Christian worldview, things like Calvinism.
See, that's what I mean. Christianity is not a worldview, and this idea of there being the Christian worldview, what do you mean? There's 43,000 flavors of Christianity who all believe different things about the world, and only some of it is based on their religious ideas. Even in the most conservative, conspiracy-laden, repressive, regressive versions of Christianity, it's still only a portion of the things they believe about the world. So what do you mean the Christian worldview? It denotes a lack of understanding. She says she went to college, but she also says it was very hard. So, I mean, far be it from me to insult a woman's intelligence, but that sounds kind of dumb. Now, to be clear, smart people can do dumb things. Exhibit A. But what are you doing, ma'am?
Exhibit B.
Exhibit C.
And predestination and fate versus free will, just trying to make sense of Christianity as an intellectual worldview. And in the meantime, I was also really struggling personally, dealing with some very deep personal failures. I felt like I was steeped in shame and unworthiness, anxiety.
Where did the shame come from, Aaron?
I wonder.
What culture brought you feelings of shame?
Exactly.
But this is a great story of how the trap of Christianity works. You bake people into it from fucking infancy. You make it culture wide. It's everywhere. It's ubiquitous. You can't get away from it to think straight for a half a second. And if you don't buy every fucking horrible, poisonous lie they try to force you to drink down, you're shamed. You're the shameful one. And that creates the emotional vulnerability that makes it possible to have one of those moments. And then when you have one of those, when you just say the words, I was convinced, you're held up and loved bombed. Welcome to the family. You can be accepted now. You're a real person. It's literally a cult. Put on the robe. Now you're welcome. Before you weren't.
Loneliness, and just uncertainty about my future, about who I was, about what kind of world I was even living in. There was an evening in college. I was home from school for the summer, and I was laying in bed in my high school bedroom, staring up at the ceiling, and I just decided to pray to a God that I wasn't even sure.
The random details are a little off-putting. It was a random evening at college, but I was home. I was in college, but I was in my high school bed. Like, it's I don't know. Maybe she's just like feeling things, and so she's hyper focusing on details to stay on track. Maybe I'm just speculating, but one of the things that can denote a confabulation, a fabrication, not necessarily an intentional lie, but a constructed memory that the person believes in, is an excess of irrelevant and seemingly contradictory details.
Mm-hmm.
If I believed in good enough for him to accept my prayer, but I knew that I was not good and that the God that I had learned about growing up was only good, I decided to surrender and to ask for the gift of grace. I was like, God, I don't know if I believe in you good enough for you to offer this, to extend this offer to me, but if you're listening, please save me. And it's kind of
And that's another thing too, is this
Yeah.
underlying concept. You know, Alyssa Childers put it best, but I couldn't find that clip. She's deleted the video it was from, where she says, you know, there's this idea in culture that people think most people are just fundamentally good. We're essentially good people. But Christianity, at its heart, is the opposite message. It's that you are irreconcilably bad. You're a failure. You're wicked. You're sinful. You're terrible. You're awful. The Ruslan clip was as close as I could get because, like I said, she deleted the original video where she just went off on how horrible her followers are. And maybe that's true for Christians. Maybe they actually are those things, but it's not true for humanity in general.
No, because every time you see a situation where people are basically, they have two options. They can either do the bad thing or the good thing, like for humanity or the people around them, the good thing or the bad thing. More often than not, they choose the good. I mean, look at how people who might not have a whole lot will step up for other people they know who need it. You know, it's one of those things, like, you can't, there is plenty of bad stuff out there, but one thing that I constantly look out for is good news and like faith in humanity stories, because they are out there. I mean,
it's true. I can show you one.
Yeah.
Hold, please.
I was going to say, like, I study one of the worst periods and one of the worst things that have happened to humanity ever. But in that, there are still some stories of people doing believably selfless, great things to try and save as many people as they possibly could. Those stories are what keep me going.
And with no discrimination based on religion, right? There were Christians saving Jews during that time. There were agnostics saving everybody. Like, no one, there was no test of what faith are you. It was, we need to save the humans. Fucking hell.
I mean, there's this story of Denmark basically all coming together and trying to get as many Jews out of the country because they learned about what was going to happen about 2 weeks in advance, and they did everything they could to get as many of them out as possible. Like, this whole huge underground. It's an incredible story.
There's a lot of things that happened in the early 20th century that make me wonder if the sabotaging of our schools has gotten so severe because we don't seem to be as smart as we were 100 years ago. We really, really don't. We're going to cover on Black Friday what the early feminists had to do and had to put up with. And people today don't seem to be willing to do what it takes to protect our rights. Similarly, that evacuation during pre-World War II that Lil just mentioned, people saw that coming from a mile away. They made preparations and they took action. We're staring down the teeth of a similar event, and everyone's sticking their head in the sand and going, nope, it's not going to get that bad. It's not going to get that far. And if it does, I hope you got your passport before January 20th. Good luck. We're just not.
And I'm just, like, I don't think it's necessarily that we're dumber than usual. I think it's just a lot of people have not been taught that, and a lot of people have not looked into it. So it's not necessarily that they don't have the ability to be as smart as they were 100 years ago. They just haven't learned about it and haven't looked into it.
Well, you don't have to look. They didn't have a past event to look to learn about. They saw what was coming. They had the ability to critically think about what they observed themselves and synthesize conclusions. We don't have that because people have been trained to think only what they're told to think by the talking head on the Fair and Balance channel. Or the guy behind the golden microphone, or whatever. And it's infuriating. I'm like, for fuck's sake, I realize I'm preaching to the choir here. Every single person in this audience is here because they've already thought their way out of that sack. But, fuck. Oh, it's okay. So, good people, right? Here's my fundraiser. I had to convert it from trying to pay my medical bills to just trying to just not die because my medical bills are completely fucking out of reach, and we're reaching the point where I'm in really bad shape. So the fundraiser's still up. A bunch of different fundraisers. You can find the link pinned in the chat. Goes to this page on my website. It's not just me. It's also Bree, Lena, and Cosmic Kyle because we're all struggling for similar reasons. But this is my fundraiser, right?
Okay.
Trying to pay for food and still have a roof over my head. And since I don't have a fucking phone anymore, I don't even know how I would still do these shows if I can't stay here anymore. But never mind. The reason I bring this up isn't to promote it because y'all have heard this before. It's to show that the donors, all of whom I'm very, very grateful to, make no mistake, I appreciate the fuck out of every single one of these people, but they're all, to the extent I know what they are, atheists, secular folk, so on, like that, you know? Rochelle, Lo-Fi, I don't actually know some of these people, and some of them are anonymous, but Mark Reed, Dave, Austin Sims, Greg Hartwick, Skits Crasher, Peter, Stephanie Helms, Jason Jacoby, Elizabeth Allen, Helen Green. Helen Green runs a show about secular people. She just did an episode last night with Mandisa, Deviant Outcast right here in the chat. Robin Webster, Marin from Misinterpretations, Miranda, Stephanie Helms again, tons of mice. Like I'm so appreciative of all these people. Skeptic Haven, and Fern, like every single person is a non-religious person.
Are you okay?
You see what I mean? Like, it doesn't take religion to do good. In fact, the people who don't have religion are more inclined to do good. As opposed to just give cash to the church and pretend it's all fine. Speaking of doing good, Jester sends us a super chat for $5. Thank you, Jester. And says, what's got me tripping is everyone seems to think the walls are being built to keep the immigrants out. Walls work both ways, people. And that's very true. There's a musical called Hadestown. It won a bunch of awards a few years back. It was popular during, it was from before Trump, but during his first term, it skyrocketed in popularity because of the whole build a wall, build a wall. There's a song. It's the story of Orpheus, but in more modern musical terms. It's really cool. But there's a song in there where they say we build the wall to keep us free. Like they're locking themselves in a prison of their own making and pretending that's freedom. It's so on the nose.
Yeah, exactly. I'm echoing.
Alas.
Funny because even though over the next few years, I was not living my life like I believed it, I was not living my life like I was surrendered to Jesus, my life did start to get better. I met my husband and fell in love.
Isn't it weird you have to surrender to Jesus? Like, I thought it was a relationship. Is it just a dom sub kind of thing? Is that the relationship? And also, how do you meet your husband when you're already in a relationship with Jesus? Isn't the fucking sixth commandment don't commit adultery? What do you mean?
Don't you know that? It's a thruple.
What?
It's a thruple. You, Jesus, and
it's
your
a purple?
Thruple.
Oh, okay. That's why they can only date people who are also dating Jesus. Okay.
Because remember, your husband has to be submissive too.
All Christian men are betas. I love that canon.
All of them.
Oh man, that's perfect.
Like that. Oh my goodness! All the Nick Fuentes bullshit, and like they're aggressively cucks.
And my husband at the time, by the way, was not a Christian.
Now, don't get me wrong. Nothing wrong with being a cuck if that's what you're into. But, like, be honest about what you're into.
But there's a funny little story connected to that, which is when I told my mom I wanted to marry him. At first, she was very alarmed because she knew that he wasn't a Christian. Like, she knew that I had a lot of questions and doubts, but that I was still seeking the truth. And then she also knew that that wasn't necessarily where my husband, Zach, was at the time. So she was very alarmed. She was like, this is the biggest decision in your life. Like, you need to slow down a little bit. She was putting up a lot of red lights. And it was literally the next day after I had that conversation with my mother. She called.
What a weird thing. So, like, okay, granted, I'm not a Christian. But if my child came to me and was like, hey, Mom, I'm getting married, I would be like, cool. Also, I mean, I trust my children to have good judgment. So I'm like not even worried that the person is a good person, but like I'd like to meet them and I'd be all fucking I wouldn't be like, but do they believe in the same mythology we do? Because if they don't, I'm worried about your soul, dear.
Yeah.
Why is that the top priority? How fucking brainwashed are you that it's not? Are they a good person? Do they have a good job? Are they into Tolkien? Like anything that actually matters, it's do they have the same mythology we do?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Yeah. I mean,
exactly.
That's one of the reasons why I personally have a really hard time dating anyone who's religious. I just can't do it. I've tried. I just can't.
Okay, so my okay, it's complicated. The first person I ever slept with who turned out to be a predator because I was 14 and they were over 18. And it took my children pointing out that's actually a crime, bestie, which was weird. It made me feel some things. But at the time, it didn't cross my mind that I was being taken advantage of.
Yeah, I understand.
We got really, really serious, hence the first person I slept with thing. They left because they were very religious. And the reason they gave me was because they were starting to love me more than God, and they couldn't have that.
That's the lamest excuse I ever heard, if I ever heard one.
My life is a fucking Edgar Allan Poe tragedy all the way through. It's fucking ridiculous. Speaking of fucking ridiculous, Jester sends us a super chat for $2. Thank you, Jester. And says cosmic cuckoldry, which is amazing. I love it. Jesus loves to watch. It says so in the book. Like, right. Jesus loves to watch. It is fucking oh my goodness, that needs. I am never going to get any sleep if I have to keep making t-shirts, but Jesus loves to watch has gotta be. It's so amazing.
Hey, whatever we gotta do to get you a couple dollars.
Fucking hell.
Me and she said,
"You put out a new shirt, you know I'm
Zach
gonna get
last
it."
night.
Yeah, I need to start getting stuff.
Oh shit. All right, I've made a note. No promises today though. I do actually have other non-YouTube shit to do today before the show later today that's already scheduled. Reminder, Mama Mephi, 8 p.m. Eastern, be here because it'll be fucking cool.
And there are times when I have to strain to hear the will and the voice of God. And there are times that he makes it very clear to me. And last night I heard very clearly, this is a match made in heaven. So that was a comfort to me because even though I wasn't sure exactly what was going on with my faith, it was like the God of my mother had my back. And it was so weird. It was a complete 180 turn overnight from, I don't know if I can support this idea, to God has ordained this idea. That
isn't it weird how when you tell people you're hearing voices, they're like, oh yes, whatever you think is best. What a weird cult. Like any other situation, you're like, yeah, I'm hearing voices. And they're like, yeah, maybe don't trust what the voices are saying. Maybe we should get you to a doctor. But in this cult, it's, oh, you're hearing voices that say exactly what you want them to say. Well,
Must be
that's all
God.
good then. It's fine. It's wunderbar.
Was a little bit of a boost of confidence. It was just an affirmation to me that my mom wasn't just following something that was emerging from her. It wasn't just her own will that she was dressing up. She was surrendered to something outside of herself that she couldn't even fully understand, but that she was putting her trust into, because she had no reason to believe necessarily that this was the right match until God told her it was. So we got married very quickly.
Oh, God told her. Okay. Well, that makes much more sense.
And we were newlyweds when the pandemic happened. That's when I started this channel on YouTube to talk about books that I was reading, mostly sci-fi and fantasy.
So you were already fully Christian when you first started the channel, which is fine. You can be a Christian and talk about your love of books. It's great. We can love books together, even if you're in a brainwashy cult that worships God and blood and death and all this shit. It's not fine. It's harmful, and I wish you could, get better, but we can talk about books and nerd out together. But cool, that was before you started your channel. Fine. Why the change now?
At the time, which I still love reading. And if you had told me when I started this channel that it was eventually going to turn into this, that this was the direction.
Okay, I need to clarify. No, okay. I'll pull up the page again. This is what happens when you click on the link at the top of live chat, or it's in the description of the video too. If you're watching later, it brings you to this page, betterthanember.com/help, right? And I will make big so you can see better. And these are fundraiser-ish. Mine is a Lena's is a GoFundMe. Kyle's is a GoFundMe, but Bree's goes to her Ko-Fi because she does not have a GoFundMe. I don't know if you want to call it a fundraiser, but you can send Bree money so that Bree doesn't have to I put this up here when Bree was trying to leave Texas, but Bree still needs money because transphobia is keeping all of us from getting jobs and working and things. And it helps. And we love Bree. And so I'm keeping the fundraiser up, even though it's not technically a fundraiser. And Bree has already left Texas. Bree still needs help. Cosmic Kyle still needs help. I still need help. That's why it's still there. Because it's not because it's a GoFundMe or even in Bree's case, technically a fundraiser. But it's a way to help people in the community who very, very much need help. So there we go.
I was going to go, I would have been very surprised because I was still in active seeking to understand the truth mode. And it's funny because now I understand that my faith is not a worldview that I have intellectually constructed, even though that was a part of my story of how I came to trust in God, was discovering that this was not just superstitious man-made dogma made up to control.
The obviously man-made stuff that I believed in my whole life because I was told to was not just man-made stuff, though. It's not like all the other religions that other people believe in for identically silly reasons.
People, that it was actually a rational, comprehensive worldview that made more sense of reality than anything else that I looked into. But anyway.
Maybe you should look into more things, bestie. Any other possibility. Any other the aliens did it makes more sense than Christianity because as wild as that hypothesis is, it doesn't include magic.
Yeah.
I'm getting ahead of myself. At the time, I was still just seeking. Truth. I started this channel and then I started my TikTok account, which blew up kind of overnight. And the video that went viral that launched that account was actually indicative of my search for truth and meaning at the time. It was about a book called Man's Search for Meaning.
I love it when people say they're searching for truth when they have already pre-concluded one thing in particular is true with no reason to think that is true. Love it. Yeah, Andrew says
reading.
rational. Was that Daisy or is that Kip?
It's not.
This is sugar. That is sugar.
Oh,
this
it's
time.
sugar.
Sugar,
Okay,
yes.
Sugar has opinions about
Sugar.
whether the religion is rational.
Yeah,
Oh,
sugar
my.
said, I don't believe in that. Yeah.
That's fair.
The male person came. He's having a fit.
The postal service is a pox on something. I just work here.
Meaning by Viktor Frankl. You want to know the meaning of life according to a survivor? In his book, Man's Search for Meaning, psychologist Viktor Frankl described his life in the Nazi concentration camps, where he was able to test his own theory of psychology known as logotherapy. Logotherapy is founded on the belief that humans are driven to seek meaning. Freud thought that we wanted pleasure, and Adler thought that we wanted power, but Frankl argues that we want meaning, and it's up to each of us to find the meaning in our own lives. He says that there are 3 ways to find meaning, and number 1 is through work, through achievement, through doing something significant. Number 2 is through love, through caring for somebody else. But what if those options are taken away from us like they were for Frankl in the concentration camps?
There's a lot to be said for this, but I do want to point out none of this is new, right? Like Aristotle and his predecessors wrote about how all humans are driven primarily by love, but if they can't get love, then they will substitute achievement. So, something to think about.
Well, there's still...
Incidentally, I don't agree. I think it's a balance for most people. Some people want a little bit of both, but some people are very, very heavily on the achievement side, and the love is like, great if you can get it, but the achievement is what matters, And so this person is positing there is a third thing, and that it's also not original, but it may be the first time that these things were fused together, or just the first time that they were fused together, synthesized, you might say, from a person whose story other people might actually read because they went through some shit.
Opportunity to find meaning, because the third way is through finding courage in the face of suffering. Suffering is inevitable, but even if every other freedom is taken away from us, we all still have the power to choose how we will respond to our circumstances. Which reminds me of one of the basic principles of Stoicism, which is focus on what you can control and make the most of what you can't. Follow for more stuff I learned in books. So that read...
That was wild. But also, it's kind of, she's presenting it as sort of foretelling what this channel would become, the Jesus channel. But she's kind of exposing her underlying bias here. Like, people are driven by meaning. So if you have motivated reasoning to conclude something you've already preferred to conclude in the first place, you're going to conclude that, unless you're very, very honest with yourself.
The interesting thing about it is it has probably not occurred that if she was raised in another part of the world, the religion she turned to would have been different. Most likely.
Very probably. Or raised in this part of the world, but in a different time period.
Yeah.
It's so fucking narcissistic. I personally have to understand everything about the universe. And as I often say, when you pretend to have all the answers, you stop looking for the real answers. And
this
that's
is
what Christianity does.
Yeah, this is one thing that's always annoyed me about a lot of Line, especially a lot that will do like response videos and stuff. They can never say, I don't know. They can't say that. Somebody asked me something about astrophysics or something that I don't know. They asked me something about history that I don't know. I'll say, I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Or I think it's X, Y, and Z, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. It's not my area of expertise. But I am fine with saying I don't know and looking it up and finding out. They cannot say that for some reason. They cannot say, I don't know.
No.
Well, there is a reason. There's a very good reason. It's because their worldview is predicated on this is the sum of all knowledge. And when there's knowledge that isn't in it, revelation. Like, if you have a direct line of communication with the Almighty, you cannot ever say, I don't know, because it demonstrates you can't talk to the Almighty and get answers to anything you might ask. Saying I don't know is a demonstration of the lie. So they can't say it, because saying it once reveals the entire thing is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
You can't pretend you have all the answers. And I mean capital letters, giant font, neon light, all the answers, and then ever admit there's one answer you don't have.
Mm-hmm.
Really true to me that we are driven by a search for meaning, and it was very comforting to me, the conclusions that Viktor Frankl came to, because even if everything else is taken away from us, we always have control over how we respond to the circumstances that we've been placed in, and we can find meaning in how we respond to those circumstances. So
Christianity for her is finding, or if you can't find it, creating meaning in the circumstances you find yourself in.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that it's true. It's a way to create meaning where there isn't evident meaning. Literally making the shit up. But for a book person, that's especially egregious, because she's not even making up her own shit. She's plagiarizing other people's made up shit and just importing those ideas. Heaven forbid we find out what's true, or have a good reason to think, or do something that's good, even like, oh, that God is an all-powerful being who wants everyone to be happy. The reason you're not happy isn't because God is evil and is torturing you. It's because well, okay, never mind. God can't be all powerful then, obviously. But there's a spirit out there who wants you to be happy, and sometimes it'll come to you and fill your heart with joy. And when you get like that burning in your bosom, that's what that is. That's the magic spirit who wants you to be happy. And the more you worship it, the more it'll come around, maybe. See, now we can build something like a mythology. I don't care. I don't care. It's just, it's so disappointing that a person who loves books and ideas and literature is just being so intellectually lazy. I wanted meaning in my life, so I just made it up. But I didn't make it up even. I just copy pasted other people's made up shit. Yay, Christianity. Fuck. Well, I mean, I'm glad we got to the bottom of things with her. I mean, she goes on for quite some time, but that's the main thing, is I wanted meeting, so I made some shit up. Praise the truth of the cuckold father who is always watching.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's just because I'm me and I think the way that I do not see how anybody could be okay with that. Like, I don't see how somebody could just accept that and move on with their life.
I don't know. I truly do not get it, because like, if I knew, like, if I wanted an answer just so I had an answer so I could move on to other questions. I mean, we do that in physics sometimes. When we have a really complicated equation that is extremely difficult to solve, we'll bracket this one hard unsolvable problem and set it aside. We'll replace it with a variable so we can continue to work the rest of the problem. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes when we do that, we can find solutions for everything else, and then we can bring the bracketed part of the problem back in, and it resolves itself. So yeah, sometimes it does help to just insert a placeholder and move on to figure out other shit. Even in physics, sometimes that helps. But to say that the placeholder is truer than what's really true is kind of fucked up. Now my dogs have opinions. Roscoe apparently is not a fan.
It's all about the dogs and their opinions.
Oh my goodness.
They want their voice to be known.
Alrighty, folks. That's about enough of that for today. I may cover the rest of it in a bonus stream sometime, possibly a bonus member stream. That's where I often do the leftover parts, because I am somewhat interested in the rest of what she has to say. But we got to the key part, and we did it in time. So hooray.
Oh
Thanks
my
you all-
God.
I
Yes,
know.
it's right on
Everyone,
time.
so much for being here, for joining us. If you're new, remember to subscribe and ring the bell because we have a show later today, and join us tomorrow. Every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern. We've got more interesting, fun stuff coming up. Tomorrow we're talking about Thanksgiving's past. American Thanksgiving, American Turkey Day. You know, the genocide flavored one. What could possibly go wrong? I hope you join us, and we've got other fun stuff coming up later. Thanks to Jester for the super chats, and thanks to everybody who's contributed to the fundraiser, which I don't mention nearly enough. Honestly, it's a little sad making because I realize that I'm very poor, and lots of us in the community are, but like to pin it to the chat every day and then go months with nothing happening, it's dispiriting, you know? Stay lovey. We all do what we can, and I appreciate y'all for being here. It means more to me than I can say. And you know, maybe you don't agree with the fundraiser, or you don't like GoFundMe in particular. That's fine. There's lots of other ways to support. There's super chats like Jester did. There's in the description. There's Ko-fi, Cash App, that sort of stuff. But there's also memberships here on YouTube. There's a bunch of different things. There's Patreon. Y'all know how the YouTube things go. But I do need to mention it from time to time because it's the nature of the beast. But the main thing is to stay logical, loving. Oh shit, that's Brentley's outro. I love stealing outros from time to time. Avast pirates. As always, remember, you don't have to pretend the made-up, extremely controlling, harmful, misogynistic, transphobic, homophobic, and other assorted obics, isms, and badnesses. That bullshit is somehow magically true because you are better than religion. Toodles! Thanks to all our patrons and top-level members for October. Miranda, Karen Butcher, Jessica the Transmetal Alchemist, Robin Webster, Maya Adkisson, Jimmy Tux, Ian Chen, Kalasia, Lilith, The Barely Bearable Atheist, Eric Wander, Jason Jacoby, Godless Engineer, Jester, Lil of All Trades, Deviant Outcast, and Kelly King, the Detroit Atheist Queen. And you can add your name here next month by signing up at patreon.com/betterthanember, or by joining Emberships here on YouTube at the Cinder level, which includes all the custom emojis, tons of member-exclusive content, member-only live streams, and a bunch of other stuff. I deeply appreciate all the supporters who keep this channel going. Thank you all so much. Because of you, we're building a wonderful community that I'm very proud of.
Just like a spark that's breaking out, can't make a stop, can't